Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to this energy update. I hope you guys are doing great and that you enjoyed the August horoscopes that I have completed earlier this week. Also the 8th portal reading, the full moon reading. It's just being off the hook, so much happening, and we're still in the full moon energy. We're still in the 8th portal energy, by the way. So see how it, what is it bringing up in you? And you don't need to read a bunch of articles or even watch lots of videos to understand, because there is a good chance, it's certain that each of us is impacted uniquely, starting with our own chart, and how all these transits are impacting us in terms of the chart. Plus, of course, we'll have our own story, our experience, and even the same kind of nudges, the same kind of idea could mean very different things to different people. So it's more about just listening to yourself, right? What is coming up for you during this time? What is the universe trying to tell you? Or what do you feel like it's time now to look at? Whether it's building new opportunities or it's removing something that no longer serves you. And maybe deep down you knew that already. It's just right now is the time to actually start looking at it more closely and taking action on it. Anyways, today we are paying attention to the twin connection, and of course this is good for any light worker if you're on that path. We will look at the divine feminine, divine masculine collective, the energy, what else do we need to know right now, and also we'll see how each of them see each other right now, right? So it's not really even the connection, it's more like how do I see the other energy, the other person that I'm connected to, or I want to be connected to. We will start with a quick oracle message and then we'll proceed with the reading. Of course, just a quick reminder that your likes are very important, and if you're new, please subscribe to the channel. And if you're new, there is of course lots of other information in the description box on how you can connect with me. Also, one of the updates that my podcast is coming back. I'm not going to be doing it with a studio anymore. So it's going to be a little bit different, styling wise, format wise. I hope to be able to do some cool intros, outros, so it's more dynamic, but yeah, it's a little bit of a work in progress. So for now, my goal is to start to set up all the tech and resume really recording new episodes for you guys. All right. And yes, I'm in a new location. I'm not gonna tell you where. You could follow me on Instagram to know more, but even there, I'm sometimes a little bit discreet. But it's a beautiful place that I'm at. I also have a couple of dogs around me, so if you hear some noise or some barking specifically, just don't be alarmed. This is expected behavior. With all that said, for divine feminines, we have number 44. Your words create worlds. That's just so cool, because when we were looking, where was it? I think it was full moon in Aquarius reading. One of the themes was right into your reality, right? And I talked about it because in more detail, especially because Aquarius is an air sign, and air is connected to to thoughts, words, any kind of expression out loud, right? And so this is very, very relevant. And this is a reminder. I talk about it in that reading more extensively, so if you feel like this resonates for you, definitely check out that video. But more than anything, pay attention to how you speak about yourself and your situation to other people. What is the story you're telling yourself? Because whatever it is, that's what you're sending out into the universe. And remember, is within, so without, right? Or whatever you're talking about, whatever you believe, that you're attracting more of. So just pay attention to that. I'm not saying whatever you are doing is necessarily bad, right? Maybe it's like the most truthful version of what is happening. But think about how much do you want to stick with that story, and also remember that, excuse me guys, once you tell that story to another person, they're gonna remember it that way. For you, you know, you'll change, you'll process the energy, you know, a couple of weeks later, maybe you'll see it completely different way. But there's a good chance that the other person wouldn't have that progress, you know, and they wouldn't know. So in their minds, you've already kind of perpetuated the idea of some kind of negative situation for yourself. So it's not about ignoring what is going on, even if it's legit negative. It's more about choose and pick what and how you want to talk about to other people. Also because people get jealous, because people may try to manipulate and take advantage. Like, there are different layers to it, of course, so take it how it resonates for you. Masculines, you've got number 13. Every cycle is a higher opportunity. This card reminds us that there are no accidents or coincidences, and also if you see a repetition of a certain scenario in your life, it is given to you either for perception, for perspective, as a kind of an exam point, where to see if you are ready to graduate, you know, if you've learned your lesson, and this is like last time you're hearing about it, hopefully. Or it can be just another layer that's peeled off the onion, you know, like you've been working on the theme of whatever it is, abandonment, neediness, or I don't know, abundance or codependency or a sense of self-worth, or like, you know, it feels like you've already done so much there, but there's always just a little bit more, right? And it's like, okay, this is like a knock on the door that it's time to do a little bit more. You're ready for it. You're ready to see it on a deeper level and heal more. That's the important part, of course. All right. Let's do the main read. Bottom of deck, Three of Swords. And I like this card so much because of this rose that's like blooming in his chest. And to me, this is about honoring the pain that you've been through. You know, they say like the war scars, so to speak, that I don't remember the exact expression, but the idea is that when a soldier comes back from the war, those scars, I mean, like, generally speaking, maybe they are not attractive, right? But for that person, it's like what makes him a hero, and it's like that, almost like those things are medals, those things are markings of bravery and you know, facing the adversity really that most other people haven't seen in their life. So it's like honoring what you've been through and the pain you've experienced, and also opening up to healing it, to letting it go, right? Again, this is, to me, it immediately brings the topic of telling a story. Like, they want to keep telling a story, and then, you know, whatever the script is, however you describe yourself, especially with trials and tribulations that you've been through. Or you want to heal it, to process it, to find closure and start a new story. Or maybe tell the story only if it comes up, you know, if it's relevant context, but not generally describe yourself this way. All right, clarifiers. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. The word victim came to mind. I wasn't gonna use it, but now that I see Five of Pentacles, like, that's really Like, do you want to tell a story of yourself as a victim, or, you know, as a winner, or at least like as a brave person going on an adventure? Very different take. Could be a different take on exactly the same story. Feminines, your energy is Knight of Wands clarified by Knight of Pentacles, the fastest and the slowest knight. So like, it's indecision because your mind is telling you go as quick as possible, and your heart is telling you, no, let's take our time. This needs more exploration, like need to savor the moment and pay attention to details. And there's a bit of like, so what do I do? Do I go this way, do I go fast and dramatic, or am I supposed to be more subtle? It really depends. There's no right answer. I'm sorry that if you were waiting for just for me to pick something for you, but essentially both ways are going to be beneficial for you. It's more about actually going forward. It's about taking that step, right? And then you'll see, like, you don't need to decide or to build like a 5-year plan or something. People don't do that anymore. I mean, no, sorry. Big companies, corporations do that still. But it's more of a like, how do I call this in a tactful way? It's more like dreaming, you know, like what is our dream? That kind of stuff. Masculines, your energy is Knight of Pentacles clarified by Four of Pentacles. So already we have a synchronicity with the Knight of Pentacles. And guess what? While feminines are deciding to move fast or to move slow, masculines already have decided to move slow. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, masculines. I'm just gonna say, or give you a question to ponder at. Why are you moving slow? Are you moving slow because of your insecurities, or you're moving slow because it just feels right? It feels like you can get your stuff together without, you know, and if you go faster just for the show, just because there's pressure from the outside, right? Like, think about your motivation right now. Because sometimes when we go too slow, it's really a way of sabotaging what we have going on, opportunities, relationships, right? Where it's like, no, I'm only gonna give just like 10% of what you're asking for, right? Like, this is what I'm comfortable with, but it's like, comfortable isn't always the best solution, you know? So just be mindful of that and ask yourself that question. The additional question for today is Seven of Wands clarified by Two of Wands. Beautiful. This is like choosing freedom and choosing what makes you you. How do you make those choices? What do the twins need to know about it? Feminines, for you, Seven of Swords clarified by Page of Wands. Oof. For you, it's to stop focusing on faulty priorities, obligations. Like, stop telling yourself a story that you're like, you don't have time or capacity to go for what gives you freedom, because you have like all this and there's a long list of things going on, or like people that you're taking care of for both, right? Like, that's, I don't want to say it's a coping mechanism, but it's really, it's keeping you where you are to a certain degree in a place of safety, but it's, you're not allowing yourself to bloom, to grow, and to expand your ideas. So they're still at this Page of Wands level, where it's like, yeah, I've got this passion, I've got that passion, but you may not necessarily put it into action to see it really blossom into something bigger that will in turn make a bigger difference in your life. Because right now it's like, you're almost like you don't really have a lot of trust there that it's worth your time and energy. What do masculines need to know? Seven of Pentacles. Look at all these sevens clarified by Temperance. Yeah, for masculines, create a plan. Don't just think that one day you'll wake up free. You know, you'll wake up with this new mindset, just it will come to you by itself. No, it's not. You're supposed to create a plan and take steps where you are at least gradually moving more towards doing what sets you free, what gives you joy, and you are gradually moving away from what keeps you stuck or what triggers you, right? But make sure that, again, even in the plan, that you're not trying to manufacture the progress, right? It's like, be realistic, and more than anything, give yourself space and grace to deviate from the plan, right? Like, make it a smart plan. So it's not like if you haven't accomplished certain milestones, it's the end of the world. No. How are the feminine seeing masculines right now? 6 of Swords and 10 of Wands. So they see that masculines have been through a lot, and they're seeking solace. They're seeking some kind of solitude where they can lick their wounds, they even hear, but more than anything, process the information that they received with this last battle, whatever that cycle, painful cycle brought to them, right? Like, it brought something to the surface, some kind of a wound that maybe they've disregarded for a long time, right? And so feminine understands that masculines need time to kind of building this new foundation, right? Or settle a little bit more in the energy after, and in their, even in their energy, in their body, after what has happened recently. So there's still work in progress there. So there may not be much capacity for building something with the feminine, because there is this part of rebuilding that they need to do for themselves. And then, how are masculine seeing feminines right now? Ace of Wands, clarified by the Hangman. Yeah, so masculines basically see that feminines are trying to show off their creativity in the world, try something different, and explore options. It's like going outside of the box, outside of the comfort zone, right? For masculines, it's kind of extreme, hence the Hangman here. It's like, whoa, like, I don't know if I would be able to do something like that, and, you know, whatever the feminine is doing. But it's admirable, and it's like somehow it still ignites the passion in them. And there's a romantic side to it, but there's also just like a human side of like, wow, I'm so grateful to have you in my life, right? To know somebody who does things like that, who has the courage, who has the vision, and you know, none of the earthly circumstances actually derail you from following wherever the energy takes you. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I'll be back very, very soon. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.